everyone, my name is Margie Viera. Welcome back to another very special episode of Somos Triunfadores. Today I'm super thrilled that I'm with Mayor Demings from Orange County, Florida. I'm super excited that he gave me the opportunity to be here today.
Let me just say, buenos días.
Buenos días.
Gracias.
Sí.
¿Cómo está?
Estoy muy bien, gracias.
Bien, gracias.
Pese a las circunstancias, estamos bien.
Sorry.
Yes. So I know that we've been facing many crises, one crisis after another, and it's just been, for a lot of us, it's been very hard. I'm here today, like I mentioned to you off camera. I'm not a reporter, I'm not a journalist, I'm a business owner and a very concerned citizen. And I wanted to meet with you and have a conversation with you as to how is it that we're going to come up with ways to rise above everything that we're facing today, and how is it that we can stay positive during these very trying times. So you're leading our county during just very challenging situations, a global pandemic and then a national social crisis. And I wanted our community to know what kind of skill set you think prepared you to lead us during this brutality that we're facing today.
Well, first, I humbly say what I'm about to say to you. I believe that what has uniquely qualified me to lead during this time that we find ourselves in is a multitude of things. First, we all are who we are based upon the sum total of our experiences. And so I have some experiences I believe that uniquely qualify me. For example, this is my home. This is where I was born and raised. So I was born in the South, and I'm a student of the civil rights movement itself. And so we see some civil unrest that's going on at this point, based upon how people of color primarily have been treated unfairly over the years of the American experience itself. And so my family, my father and mother, they're from the South, and they went through some things. And so as their child, I know a little bit about injustices sometimes that has been part of our living as blacks in America. So I have that experience. Number two, my background is one that is a public service, but prior to getting in public service, I was an accountant, so I have degrees in finance, and I have a master's in business administration, and I did taxation practices for a number of years. So that gives me the business perspective. And then I have 37 and a half years of being a law enforcement officer. And during that period of time, I had the opportunity to manage numerous crises over that period of time. From being the chief of police, to being the elected Orange County sheriff, to being the Orange County director of public safety during that 37 and a half years, it prepared me to be able to manage crises. I was an instructor for crisis management for over 20 years with Valencia College, and taught first responders how to respond to crises.
Wow.
And so I bring that experience to the table. And I'm in my second year now as the Orange County mayor. In this position, my position is one that is more global. It's all about moving the entire community together. And so we have a philosophy that we want Orange County to be the best community that it can be for all people, and to make certain that all people have the opportunity to participate in achieving the American dream. So I have a board of county commission that is a very diverse board, but one that is all females at this time, but 3 Latinas.
Wow.
On the board. That's a historical moment for Orange County, and I serve now as the first African American or black mayor here in Orange County.
We're making strides.
So all of those positions that I've been in, I've been the first in every one of them. And so I'm
How
here
does that make you feel to be the first in every one of them?
Well, I don't know. I'm proud of getting in the game. Okay, because in order to bring about change in your community, it's better to try to be part of the solution than sit in the arena and be a spectator. I've chosen to get into the arena and participate in these processes. And so if we want to bring about change, we have to be about the change. And so I encourage people who are now out demonstrating regarding some of the civil unrest that we see in the circumstances in America to channel that into action. And we have to be proactive and engaged in our community by volunteering, going to work in different ways. And we'll talk more about that. But all of those experiences I just talked about is what allows me to lead with competency and confidence. So I'm prepared to deal with these issues.
Nowadays, it's not just about leading, especially during these circumstances. Is how do you inspire your community during these trying times?
Our community has been through some challenges over the years. We've dealt with weather phenomena, hurricanes. We've dealt with the Pulse nightclub tragedy that had an international impact, and it touched almost every demographic in our community. And so we came out of all of those different challenges over time better and stronger as a community. And so now, in the face of a pandemic, I have a different tagline. We're going to come out of this better, safer, and stronger. So we're going to learn from the experience of this pandemic and the COVID-19 virus and how it impacts our community. And I believe that Orange County has just a fantastic team of individuals who are well experienced to be able to deal with whatever the crisis is that may come before us. And we have some talented people in our community who it's all about bridging the gaps. When we come together this way, when we intertwine ourselves in the moral fabric of our community, we become stronger as a community so that when the challenge occurs, we don't get ripped apart. And so that's what I have to applaud you and your efforts as a business owner and leader in our community for your willingness to engage and be intertwined in the moral fabric of our community.
Well, you moved me to reach out to your office and connect with you because I know that we spoke off camera, it's collective anxiety what we're facing. We're like everybody's struggling with anxiety and uncertainty. And I heard that you're working on some initiatives to try to, bring some calmness and more integration in our community. So if you want to share with me, what initiatives are you working on to move the needle so our community starts working together more so, because you've accomplished that before. But now it's a different situation. So, and then how is it that, we can, out of this whole crisis after crisis, we come up victorious and rise above all of it?
As a student of the civil rights movement, one of the people that I studied most was Dr. King, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And Dr. King had a philosophy of nonviolence but direct action in order to move a society in a particular direction. And so, having said that, one of the things that in terms of being a visionary we did here within Orange County was create a year-round standing initiative called the MLK Initiative. And that's all about bringing the broad diversity of individuals in our community together to plan and be part of the conversation as we shape public policy. And the MLK Initiative was really kicked off here in this community prior to the start of the pandemic. So what we're doing is we're going to use the MLK Initiative, which is about 40 volunteer individuals representing all walks of life, all ethnicity, all genders, all business sectors, even private, public sectors are coming together. And they will be meeting to look at the here and now and make recommendations to us about how we collectively move forward to address the challenges. When we talk about housing disparities, healthcare disparities, when we talk about unequal access to capital to invest in businesses.
You're getting me all excited.
When we talk about all of those things that we have to improve upon in order to ensure that all people, regardless of their race, their creed, their sexual orientation, they're able to come together and be successful in running their businesses, running their households, and taking care of their families. That is what the MLK initiative is all about. And in the midst of this period of demonstration, it will come to light, and the group will help to sponsor a community chat. We will do a series on that this week, but it will continue to have a conversation where people can vent, where they can give input that we will use to help shape public policy.
I really applaud you for that, and I am very grateful that you're doing that, because you see, we want to be heard, and to establish forums where we can vent and give our ideas and offer our resources. What is it that I'm working on that perhaps it could benefit the collective? I think that it's all about that. Thank you for trying to create something that will include everybody in our community. Thank you so much for that. And I wanted to, speaking about our community, our business leaders, business owners, are leaders within their communities. So I wanted to ask you, how is it that, what recommendations you have for them to be part of the solution to the problems that we're facing today? And also, I know that you're working on some initiatives that are supporting the business community, and I want you to share some of the resources that are recently available for them.
Let me say this, as a woman leader, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of what you're doing here. I'm married to a strong woman who serves in the United States House of Representatives, and I have 4 granddaughters and a grandson, and we want all of them to be successful. So in terms of what can we do, I encourage people to, if they can, if you can volunteer with different social service organizations, volunteer with the various advisory groups or boards. We have a number of them here within Orange County. You can just simply go to our website to get a list of the different advisory groups. But what I'm saying to you is I encourage people to get involved.
Thank you.
Do not sit on the sidelines. What I encourage them to do, to be of service. We should not lose the opportunity to have a lifetime of service. Sometimes with demonstrations, it's only in the here and now. People go and they feel very impassioned about what they believe in, and they go and they have just a flash of a moment where they were active. But I believe that it really takes a lifetime of service if you truly want to make certain that you're constantly evaluating the current set of circumstances in our community so that we're adjusting and evolving. As a nearly 40-year law enforcement officer, I can tell you that law enforcement has been forced to evolve over time and constantly reevaluate its policies and procedures. These individuals who are saying we're calling for reform in the criminal justice system. The criminal justice system is always under reform because it changes to adjust to the current time that we may be living in, using the current technologies that are before us, and meeting all of those current challenges that we have as a society. So that's what I would say to people.
You speak of experience because you came from law enforcement. Now you're leading a county. I mean,
absolutely.
So you know what you're talking about in that sense. So, so what about the current climate? And a lot of people are mad at the police. And the other day I saw something that broke my heart. I will share that with you. I was watching on the news a protester yelling in the face at some of the police officers, just huge, she was so frustrated and in so much pain, and the way she brought out the pain and the frustration was yelling at the police officers who are just there standing taking it, and I just couldn't help it. I just feel a lot of compassion for both of them. because they're both
Yeah.
frustrated. So what is it that we can tell our community so that they can, change their mindset towards perhaps what the feeling that is out there towards police?
Sometimes we as human beings, we get caught up in the moment and we forget to be respectful of other people. And so what I would say to the public is always remember that police officers are people too. They have families, and I can objectively and honestly say that the overwhelming majority of the men and women that I served with during that nearly 40-year career were good people trying to do good things. But we had some bad apples, and I worked like hell to get the bad apples out of our profession. But I was able to do so because I was inside these organizations. So I look for people who want to maybe become law enforcement officers, become first responders, become frontline workers. Our healthcare workers on the front line during this pandemic. Those are admirable jobs and roles that we have as a society, and we look for good people to get involved in that. So I want people to harness that anxiety that they have and the energy into something that is productive, not destructive.
Mm-hmm.
And we unfortunately see some who are participating in these public demonstrations who are engaged in destructive behaviors. We want the behavior to be productive behaviors, and that's what I would say. Know the difference, understand it,
Yes.
Be part of the solution.
Yes. To wrap things up, you've demonstrated to be a visionary leader, and you're seeing not just what's happening now, but you can see down the road. And because everybody's so focused on the negativity of the moment, what is a positive forecast that you could give us for all of us struggling with our emotions right now?
Life is like a box of chocolates. You never quite know what you're going to get. That I'm quoting Forrest Gump here.
I like that.
But that's what life is. And so what I want people to understand is that's living. We are going to get through this. While our economy has had a multi-billion-dollar negative impact from the pandemic, while we understand that people have the heart and the passion for the death of George Floyd, if we come together and we trust ourselves and are respectful and open and have dialogues, if we truly are about coming together and bridging the gaps, we'll get through this. We are in a phase of recovery now, and our economy will recover, and you will see where maybe we were just off course, but we will be back on course, headed to what I call that experimental prototype community of tomorrow that Walt Disney envisioned, where it will be this place where there will be innovation, technology,
Yes.
Culture, clean energy, a multimodal system of transportation where families are just, it's that place where everybody on planet Earth will want to live. We are headed there. And we will get there if we refocus ourselves, recalibrate, and understand that the pandemic will end, it will pass us by. Be ready if you're in business, be ready to position your business to, as we re-engage our economy with the theme parks reopening and businesses reopening, we will quickly get back to where we were before. So stay the course. I say I have a motto: pray first, aim high, and stay focused.
That is awesome. So during the pandemic, I'm going to share this with you. I was so scared at one point, and then I said, oh, I don't know how my business is going to survive. I have a marketing business, and usually that's the first thing people cut off when things are not going well. So I decided, oh my gosh, let me call this and that. Let me call him and her, and they all helped me out. And I'm like, ooh, I have all these connections, and it's so easy for me. And I started feeling for those people that were furloughed and that lost their jobs and that didn't know anybody, because we have a lot of recent arrivals here in Florida. Especially in Central Florida. So I said, let me put together a resource guide because not everybody can call me, and I don't want people to keep calling me, how do I connect with so-and-so, or where do I go? So I wanted to create a resource guide in Spanish so that folks know if they wanted to start a business in Central Florida to reinvent themselves, or if they own a business, what are the list of the resources available. So it's available for free. It's a free download at somostriunfadores.info. And I know that recently Orange County has also offered some additional resources for the business community and for individuals. So we're going to update our guide so that folks can also find it there. We're including the hyperlinks, the people to call, everything. Where to reach the help, everything is going to be included there. So like you said, let's stay focused, let's stay super positive, and let's make something positive, something awesome come out of this, not just for yourself, but for everybody else. Thank you so much for giving me the time. And
I will add that I was remiss in not pointing people to the ocfl.net/orange
Yes.
cares, because we have a number of crisis assistance opportunities there for small businesses of 25 or fewer employees. If they apply, we will begin with applications on June the 8th. You can apply to get a grant of $10,000 if you qualify, if you're a small business of 25 employees or less. We also will be beginning applications for our crisis assistance for families and individuals who have lost their jobs, or underemployed at this point, where they can get some assistance with rent or mortgage payments. Wow. Or utility payments. And so that all starts on June the 8th. Applications will be taken primarily online.
Thank you so much for sharing that. So I wanted to thank everybody for watching this show today. This show was supported by Polytechnic University of Orlando, and thank you so much for their business school for being part of this great effort to be able to bring to the community different resources available during these trying times. And I thank Mayor Demings for giving us the time and sharing additional resources. Now you know, you can go to the Orange County website to learn about different resources available as of June 8th. And also for the MLK initiative, if you want to be part of the change, if you want to be part of the everything that we're working on so that we can rise above this whole situation. If you want to voice your concerns, this is a great alternative for you to do that. So thank you so much for tuning in. This is Margie Viera, and you can see us next time on Somos Triunfadores.info.